Okay, what's going on? Um, um, honey, can you check if you see if I'm live? Check to see if you can see if I'm live. Yeah. Yeah, that's mine. Could you add? Yeah, precious. Yeah. I want to drink from there. Precious, could you add some the gas water, please? Yeah, please. Actually, I beg pass me the this thing, clue mate. Ah, I see. I don't. Eh? I mean, no one made you fool like that. Uh, honey, could you check if you see that the Japa.Travel is live? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Ah, I see. At least I have one guest watching me. What's going on, people? So today I am meeting up with MedMinds from Russia, and we will be talking about our guest. Uh, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Ah, ah. Hello. Ah, can you hear me?
Oh, hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you properly. Sorry, I'm actually late because I wanted to log in on my laptop and then
It's
it was
all good.
behaving a little bit. Hmm.
Yep. Nice, nice, nice. So I'm outside in
Hmm.
the park. Let me show you around the beach so you see the place.
Hmm.
So yeah. Uh, I was just thinking, okay, how running
Okay.
back home or just hanging out outside here, but I think outside it's more fun.
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful place. I actually take permission from work to be able to meet you
You
here.
have to do what?
I had to take permission from work for my boss to be actually able to
Yeah,
meet you
yeah,
here right now.
that's really kind of you. Um,
No, it's all right. So how are things going over in Germany?
Not bad. So I'm in Berlin, for the week, actually for the next 1 week or so. Yeah. Um, I think Germany is not as big as Russia, so it's very easy to move from one part of the country to the other. Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you
So
guys have a relatively compact country. For
yeah,
me to be able to move to the closest of cities, I spend at least 5 hours on the road,
yeah,
and these are republics that are located very closely together. Because
yeah.
Russia is so big that, like I mentioned before, we have 9 different time zones, and you
Hello.
can spend up to 2 weeks on the train going from one side of it to another side of it.
No way, no way. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yo, tell me about Russia. Like, how did you think about Russia as a place to study? Like, what's your story?
Oh no, Russia is a wonderful place to be because
Okay,
Russia has a very rich history of basically history like that is very rich in drama and all of that. They have a
that's
lot of
true.
like about 40 or 50% of the world's sciences has been contributed by Russian scientists. Sincerely,
That's true.
if
Yeah, yeah,
you
true.
study medicine, if you study medicine and you look at the inventions, you look at the drugs, you look at the techniques, most of them have
Is it-
been done by Russians.
Yeah,
Just look
yeah,
at
yeah,
Levitsky's manipulation. You look at Pavlov and the rest of these guys. It has been done by Russia. So Russia generally has a very wonderful, like it's a wonderful country. Apart
yeah,
from what is going on, like what is going on with them recently. But
yeah,
apart
yeah,
from
yeah,
like
yeah.
that is another story that, of course, I'm not allowed to discuss. Even though of course, stuff like that. But Russia itself, if, a fun fact for you, Russia was the only country that did not colonize Africa. During the
Yeah.
colonizations, a lot of European countries met in Belgium. I remember it was called the Belgium Agreement. So they met in Belgium and decided that, oh, we're going to share
Was it
Africa.
in Belgium or Berlin?
I don't know, man. It's between one of these
Okay.
countries. I
Yeah.
don't know. When I say something like this, probably because I read it somewhere. Yeah.
But for sure, they had that conference where they
Yeah,
literally
they had
divided
a
Africa.
conference and decided to take over most African countries, and then they led
Yeah.
to the colonization, led to the stealing of our resources, led to a lot of genocides and massacres in a lot of African countries. Russia did not take part in any of this, you know. So Russia as a country is not a place. It's not a country that I think is very bad. Even now,
Okay.
what is going on right now with the political crisis, other countries are already doing this. Like America did it in Afghanistan. They did it in Libya by removing Colonel Gaddafi. They did it in which other country? They did it in Iraq by removing
Yeah,
Saddam
of course.
Hussein. They have
Yeah, I think
invaded
they
a
were
lot of
recently.
countries. They went to Vietnam. These people went to Korea. Basically, America has touched almost every part of this country, this world, and they
Yeah,
have caused problems everywhere. Like
yeah,
America, there
yeah,
was a war happening in Europe. America stood up all the way from the American continent and came and
yeah.
involved themselves so that they aggravated the war basically so that they could be able to sell arms. Because the
Hmm.
American industrial system is being run by the arms dealers and all of that. Sorry, we're
Yeah.
not here to talk about politics. We're just here to talk about the country.
I feel like
So
you have a lot of passion for politics.
no,
Like you go
basically, I've
revisit
been
it.
following a lot of this history and a lot of the politics
Okay.
that are going around. And if you
Yeah,
look at what is happening in the world right now, when the U.S. invaded Iraq, nobody said
yeah,
these people were. Nobody said they were bad, or nobody said these people were committing war crimes. The same
yeah.
thing
Hmm.
for the same thing for this guy. When Putin went into Ukraine, everybody suddenly just thinks Putin is a hooligan. So
Yeah.
it's not something that the American is a very good people. But we're not here to talk about America. We're here to
It's
talk
about.
about the
I guess
situation in Russia.
it's about the P. It's about the PR. Like what. Yeah, how the media puts you and all that. But maybe we can talk about this subsequently.
Hmm.
Um, I'm more interested in knowing why you chose Russia as a destination. I think I really want to learn from you what's attracting about Russia as a
Hmm.
study abroad destination, and
Okay.
also how you how you like it over there in Russia, living so far in Russia. You know.
Hmm. All right. So the reason why I actually chose Russia was because, of course, if you are looking at the European system of education, most of them are actually very expensive. Apart from Germany, that is free, like
Yeah.
then you
True.
have very expensive system of it. You have countries that are taking about $20,000 to $30,000
To
every
study.
year,
Yeah.
every year, and then Russia was taking just about 4,000 to 5,000 a year, and that was relatively cheap. It's affordable for anybody. So we
True.
decided
Yeah.
to actually come here. And apart from that, okay. And apart from that, that it was relatively easier to get admission into Russian universities because they really don't care about your fundamental knowledge. No matter, they believe everybody is trainable. So no matter who you are, they are able to train you. To be, like no matter who you are, as long as you have the Jelania, they say Jelania is wish in Russian to learn. They train you
You
into
have the
becoming
what?
the Jelania. Jelania is wish to learn.
Ah, they wish to learn
Uh-huh.
the language.
Yes, as far as
Okay.
no, they wish. Yes, exactly. Once you have the wish to learn, they train you
Yeah.
to becoming one of some of the best doctors in the world come from Russia. Even in Nigeria, that we are from, some of the best doctors that came to that we have in Nigeria right
True.
now actually studying in this
Yeah.
country. The former
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
the controller, sorry, director of NAFDAC, that is Ohi Botwe. The guy studied in Russia. He was one of the two that
Are you
actually recommended the
serious?
country. Yes, he studied in Russia. So a
Okay.
lot of other people have studied here and become great. CGP, the current president of China, also studied in Russia. Or many of these world leaders have actually studied here. And Russia is a developer. Russia actually gives you a lot of opportunities. Russia demotes you into a force. Basically, by the time you go home, you are actually a leader. It doesn't just teach you academics. It teaches you
uh,
their morals. It teaches you their way of life, their culture, and almost everything. So Russia is actually a good location to study if you are looking
okay.
for yeah, if you are looking for a place that is affordable, if you are looking for a place that is safe, because Russia is relatively safe. If you go to the US now to study, you might be attacked. There might be a mass shooting that might kill
So
you.
you think Russia is safer
Basically,
than the US?
yeah, of course, man. Since I came here, I've never
Okay.
been attacked. I've never ever experienced a crime in my life here. Like I've been here for the last 4 years, and it has been wonderful. It has been a wonderful experience. Nobody
That's
has
that's
ever,
that's a
in fact,
good testimony.
among my friends, none of them has been harassed. None of them has experienced any racist attack. None of them has actually ever experienced a crime. Like we have not seen any crime in this place. It's a very safe place. There are cameras everywhere, and the people are even actually good. And it might even interest you to know that many Russians actually do own guns legally, and they don't even use it because they say an armed society is a polite society. If you know the next person has a gun, you're going to be afraid to go go behave stupidly around him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually it's a wonderful place. If not for the current sanctions that have affected us, especially the foreign students,
Hmm.
then maybe I would have loved to stay here for a while after graduation. But because it's a one, it even
Okay.
gives you the opportunity to stay. If you graduate from Russia with a first class degree, they call it the red diploma, that is the Krasny diploma. Then you are given a temporary residency, which leads to a permanent residency. That is very easy. If you get married
But
here after 2 3 years,
okay.
you also get your permanent residency. It's a wonderful place to stay. And
Okay.
I, while I was doing my what do you call it, my obstetrics rotations at the hospital, I discovered that Russia actually pays you 600,000 rubles, or let me give the equivalent of $10,000 on giving birth to your second child, basically. So the government and giving birth is completely free. You don't pay for hospital bills. The government basically just takes care of you from A to Z. Like, and they have amazing medical facilities. It's just a
Okay.
dream. So Russia as a state for me is an amazing place to study. You study here, you get stronger basically, because they
Okay.
have a very masculine culture that is very powerful. If you study in Russia,
Yeah.
you are going to develop a culture that is very masculine. It makes you a leader, makes you strong in space of adversity. You'll be able to solve your problems in life and all of that. Like basically, it's just I just thank God that I chose Russia. I thank God, if
Okay.
not for the few issues that we had, then this would have been an amazing place to actually complete and even settle down in
But
the
I mean,
future.
maybe it's gonna change before you graduate, right? Uh, how
Mhm.
many more years? How long do you still have before you graduate?
Please, can you repeat the question? I'm having a little network
Ah,
meltdown.
okay. So
Yeah.
I'm saying that maybe things are going to change before you graduate.
Oh
before you
yeah.
finish your studies.
Of course, things are going to change. Okay, I'll wait for you to come back on the line.
And how much longer do you have before the end of your studies?
Please repeat your question.
How much longer do you have before the end of your studies? You're in your fourth year now.
Oh yeah, I am in my 40. I have 2 more years realistically to finish. By 2025 in July, I'll be packing my things to whichever country I choose next. And if I
But
decide to stay,
can't you stay there after your studies? Can you
oh
not
yeah, I
stay
could
there?
stay. Absolutely, you could stay. It provides wonderful opportunities, especially for us foreigners, because Russia has made a lot of initiatives for foreigners to actually visit. So you can actually stay. You can actually stay
Okay,
and work.
okay.
Get about $1,000 $2,000 a month. That is not bad because
Ah,
the quality of living, the standard of living here is high, while the cost of living is actually low. You can live here comfortably with $300 a month, and that is as a student. So you can
that's
live.
good. That
What
includes
about
also
Germany?
your house rent.
How is Germany? How is in
I
comparison to
think
what I've said?
the standard of living is high. The cost of
Mm-hmm,
living is also relatively affordable, I would say.
mm-hmm,
Um, I think Germany is like one of the most affordable countries in Europe. Like
Really?
other, yeah, and I'll tell you why. Like, I mean, in comparison to other um, relatively advanced countries in Europe,
Mm-hmm,
so in comparison to countries like Switzerland,
mm-hmm,
France, the Netherlands, Spain, Italy, I think France,
mm-hmm.
Germany is still on the affordable side, definitely.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, you also earn like relatively higher here compared to those
Mm-hmm.
other places.
Sure.
Like in France, the cost of living is like really high compared to Germany, but what you
Mm-hmm.
earn there is also quite low compared to Germany. So
Mm-hmm.
what you earn here in Germany, it has way more value. Like you can do a lot with it. For example, I think the average cost of living for a student in Germany right now it's about 900 euros, and
A
this
month.
amount it's like, yeah, a month, it's
Yeah,
900
that's high.
euros. Yeah, of course. I mean, relative to Russia,
Yeah, it's
right? It's
Europe
high.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, relative to Russia, it's high. But I think
Mm-hmm.
within, like say, Western Europe per se,
Yeah,
I
within
think,
the eurozone.
yeah, within the eurozone, I think it's relatively okay. But the good thing is you also think about the opportunities here.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are quite a number of opportunities for you here in Germany, as an international student or as an expatriate, you know, working here and stuff. The system, kind of welcomes you. There's a lot of package for you, and I tell people, hey, if you can speak the language, then it will just open even more doors for you. Because compared to the lifestyle or like what people experience in other countries, like other study abroad destinations, Australia, US, the UK. Here again is a top abroad study destination. Yeah, like compared to these other top locations,
Yeah.
Canada also, I think Germany has a much smoother way for you to integrate into the system. Like how you get a long-term residence after your studies, you get a permanent residence, you get the passport. In my opinion, it is fairly transparent. The
Yeah. So
requirements
you
are there,
actually,
you
how are
meet
you staying
them.
there right now? Do you have a permanent residency?
Yes, I have a permanent residence. Yeah. And I mean, actually, I qualified for citizenship since almost 3 years ago, which I did
Mm-hmm.
apply, and it's taking like forever to be done. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna happen soon.
Can
Um,
can you have can you have dual citizenship? Can you be a Nigerian citizen and a German citizen?
yes,
No, that is
Nigeria allows
wonderful.
that.
Yeah, because one of
Exactly.
the reasons, yeah, one of the things I don't want to lose my Nigerian citizenship. Even though some people might find it to be very stupid, that is where I was born, that is home. So even if I come here and I get Russian citizenship, I don't want to get Russian citizenship because Russian laws will force you to, forfeit your other citizenship.
But
And
do you
my
know why
Nigerian
this is
citizenship is
so?
my origin. What?
Like, but why? I mean, I don't understand why countries want you to renounce one citizenship before you take
Yeah,
up
because
another.
citizenship is actually very serious business. Citizenship
I
means that
know.
you can be able to die for the country. As the country provides those amenities for you, when it's time for war, they pick you to war. You die for them. So what happens when Russia is at war with your country? Where do your loyalties lie?
I see. So
Oh yeah.
you are so deep in this stuff.
No, 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 no. Sincerely, it's a big decision. It's a big
Okay,
decision. If
okay.
you get stuck in an airport somewhere, or maybe a country harasses you, for example, you go to a country like Romania and you are arrested, like how the Tate brothers, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have been arrested. Then which country comes for you? Like which country's embassy, like comes to get you?
Yeah, is it
We the
Nigeria or
diplomatic.
Russia?
Exactly. Of course, nobody will want the Nigerian embassy to come for you because they don't even take us seriously on the world stage now. But hopefully, with the advent of this administration, this Tinubu administration that all of us hated, but have come to accept,
Maybe things are
hopefully,
gonna change.
yeah, things are
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
change because I know I'm not gonna talk pro Tinubu here because I have a future, and people will kill me.
yeah.
All right, of course, man. Nah, it's all right. It's
Okay.
been wonderful talking to you, and I have work. I took permission from my work, and
So you want
let
to
me
go
go.
now or what? How many more minutes do you have?
I think I might have about 5 more minutes. Maybe we can have a
Okay.
conversation.
With this 5 minutes that you have, I really want you to tell me why someone should, like, if I don't know anything about studying in Russia,
Yeah.
really, literally, I have no idea. So, like,
Mhm.
this last 5 minutes now, could you just tell, me to understand why should someone study in Russia, and then what are the things that they need to know about studying in Russia? And I think there's a part that people do not know about a lot, and that's about the opportunities in Russia. Frankly speaking, when you talk about Russia, it blows my mind. I'm serious. And this is also another thing that really motivates me to create content like this because I want to speak with people who are there in that country where
Yeah.
we hear about. I don't want to read up things in the news or hear things on the radio or TV. No, I want to speak with people who are experiencing it. And I think for you, who's a Nigerian living in Russia, I think you can only tell the truth about the place. There's no reason for you to not to tell the truth. So
Of
really,
course.
tell tell me what are the requirements to study in Russia, and maybe the courses which are
Okay.
possible to study, and what the true experience is. I mean, for sure, other sections we will go into more details, but
Oh,
just
sure.
an
Okay.
overview.
It's all right. So basically, right, studying in Russia is actually one of the easiest process you can have. You only need to be qualified, and you only need to not be a thief.
Okay,
So once you can be able to prove that you're not a criminal or you're not on any international wanted list, then you get your
okay,
admission into the university. You need your international passport like every other country. You need
okay.
your high school certificate. For us in Nigeria is most of the time WAEC and NICO. So once you
Just
send it
work
to
and
them,
echo.
yes, basically, you just send it to them, you qualify, and they give you the admission. It's issued to you, and then after that, you
How
pay.
about language requirements?
Oh no, the language requirement here is very easy. Instead of you studying in Nigeria, studying German in Nigeria, you can actually come here and they will teach you Russian.
You
Like
have to study in Russia and you can't
yeah, for
study in
one
English
year. No,
language.
like for the language requirements, here is what it is. We have English medium courses like medicine and a lot of other popular courses, and then we have Russian language for a lot of courses. So for you to study in Russian language, you need to come here and do 1 year of the language course, and they teach you
Okay,
basic science, so things like chemistry and biology, and then after the 1 year, you get admission into any of the courses you choose. But one of
okay,
the reasons why a lot of people go into the Russian distance is Russian is relatively cheaper. Imagine you paying only about $2,000 a year for your academics and paying about, let's say, how much? Like paying about $8 a month for your hostel. Like $8. You're staying in a hostel that is actually very good and you're paying just $8 a month. And
okay,
sometimes, if you're lucky, you stay in a hostel just like you stay one person in the room or you stay two people in the room. So like it's actually an
okay.
amazing experience. And so
Do you
after you
study in
send it,
Russian or in
yeah,
English
you
yourself?
no, yeah,
You.
I'm studying in English medium, but I should have studied in Russian because now that I've known the language, it's not a big deal. It's not much big of a deal. But when you come, they will teach you. Russia has this as a language is one of the hardest languages in the world, and for you to learn it, it takes one liver and two kidneys. Stop.
One liver and two kidneys.
Basically, so it's actually but if you put efforts, like if you go work, for example, now we are allowed to work in Russia. Before it
This is
was
good.
Zaporizhzhia, it was banned, but now you can work in Russia. So if you go work out there, you'll be forced to learn the language. And a lot of people even have a life hack. If you want to learn Russian, go get a Russian girlfriend. Some of us don't need Russian girlfriends. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
well,
just, we
that's
just
the way to learn the language.
yeah,
Date the
it's just
locals.
interact, practice. So when
Interact,
you know the
practice.
language, you can just be simply going to the course. Of course, you're not going to be getting A's and B's, because
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
do
yeah.
that, that means you're an exceptional genius, and very few people do that. Like the only
Okay,
genius can be able to get A's if you're studying in another language. Like imagine if like us that are studying in English, sometimes they still fry you in class. You fail test, Imagine if you have to
Mm-hmm.
think in your own language, because we primarily think in English language, and then you
Yep.
convert it to another language, and then you're able to portray it to the professor. Ah man, this is not
You're
an
really
experience
good.
you would
Yeah,
wish.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
No,
Okay,
it's all right.
then what? Tell me then, what is it like living in Russia as a foreigner? The experience from you. I
Oh,
want to hear from you. What it
the,
really
the,
is.
ex- the experience is like you're a celebrity, because Russia does not have a lot. We have only about 400,000 foreigners here presently in Russia that are documented. And if you
Less
come
than
to
one
some,
million.
well, 1 million in,
I'm
in
saying less
Germany.
than a million. That's what you're
Yes,
saying.
less than a million. It's less than a million basically. So if you are studying here, you are basically a celebrity, especially if you're not studying in the main capital. Like people have been coming to Moscow and St. Petersburg for hundreds of years to study. Or if you're studying in a
Mm.
place like I am in Makachkala, is the capital of the Republic of Dagestan. It's a sub country located in Russia. Like I said, Russia is so big that it has countries inside. So like Dagestan is a country located in Russia under the Russian Federation. So
One, one, one more thing. One small thing.
yeah.
Um, I want to confirm from you, what are the courses?
Mhm.
What are the most common international courses one can study, or what are the most common courses one can study in English language? Just tell me the most
Oh,
common.
okay. You can study medicine, you can study law, you can study engineering in English, you can study basically pharmacy in English in some universities. You can study robotics in English. You can study basically just medical and engineering courses,
Okay.
because
How
most
about
of
still some business management and
no, you can
arts,
have
those
all
kind
the
of things?
Russia. After this life, I'm gonna send you a document. Russia has every course on the face of the earth.
Please
If you want
send
to
it.
even study
I
terrorism,
need it.
you
I
will find a
swear.
university offering terrorism. You won't know if you see. Like Russia has every course on the face of the earth. Russia is
Yeah,
it has a
I
very
am serious.
powerful and organized educational system. Every course is offered. If you said, okay, you want to study computer science, there's computer science. Computer engineering, there's computer engineering. Computer engineering for oil. There's computer engineering for oil. Like programming. All these courses are available. It's
Russia
just
is a great country.
yeah, bro. Like for the education, I think although they are a bit old-fashioned because they still make you interact with the professor more. For example, we are in a group of 15, so your professor knows your name, he knows your country, he knows everything about you. So if you don't
But
come
I
to
think
class
that's
2:15,
good.
yeah, so he's directly in charge of you. They're like
Yeah.
so like they make you come to class every day. Whereas when I was studying in Benue State University in Nigeria, I was I was not allowed to. I could miss lectures for two weeks and still be considered a serious student. Here, if you miss
No
lectures for
way.
2 weeks, you're going home. You'll be expelled.
Yeah,
38
I mean,
hours.
yeah, I take it
Miss lectures
seriously.
for 38 hours and you're done.
Yeah. Yo,
So they make you study.
have we should have another session. Really, I'm going to. It's blowing my mind. I'm serious. It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, I know it's
I
amazing. I would like to hear about Germany too. I don't just want to be talking about Russia. I
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of friends that want to go to Germany to study.
I'm like with the things you're telling me right now. I think Russia is
Mhm.
more attractive than Germany.
No, you can't say that, man. If I'm in Germany, I won't earn more money. What are you talking about? In
Okay.
Russia,
Uh,
my average salary is just about $1,000. You can earn that more than 2,000, 3,000, and that means I'm earning really high. I was lucky
yeah.
to
No.
find a job. I was
Of
lucky to
course.
find
Yeah.
a job that pays very high.
Okay.
But that means that you sacrifice your physicality. Like you sacrifice your physicality. It's like handyman, and so basically. But if you go to Germany, maybe if we doing the same thing in Germany, I would have been any of the 3,000 euros or so. Nah, that
Yeah.
would have
Probably.
exactly.
Probably.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just the difference in an opportunity to earn. Germany
But
has more
the thing is,
opportunities for now because
the
of the
way.
eurozone.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. No doubt. There's more
Hmm.
opportunity, and then politically speaking, of course, you're like
Hmm.
in a better country.
The Schengen visa.
The Schengen
you
visa,
can
you
you
can
can
flex
basically
that.
just tour Europe right now. If I want to go to any country, including the neighboring Georgia, I need I actually need a visa, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can go
yeah.
to Belarus for free though.
Well, that's a good point. But Belarus is not so different from Russia, I guess.
Yeah, it's not very
Yeah,
different. It's basically the same political ideology, and
yeah, yeah,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. Do you want me to
Yeah.
tell you
So,
about Germany now, or maybe in the next time when we meet?
well, no, we're gonna talk about Germany next time we meet. Today, maybe we'll
Oh,
focus mostly on Russia, but maybe hopefully you guys tune in for the next time.
yeah,
For
no,
the
for sure. I think for me, really, I'm ready to run this session
hmm
every Saturday. I
No, as
think
long as
if if this time is not okay for you, I think we can choose
yeah, we
maybe
can we
later in
can
the
shift it a
evening.
little bit. Don't get me fired from work.
Yeah, yeah. I think evening would be nice. I would like us to plan at least 1 hour. You
Sure,
know,
sure, sure. No, that
at
that would
least
be
an hour.
amazing. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
talk. One thing I'm really good at is talking a lot. When people
I
are
I
tired
can
of
see
listening to
that.
me, so I just talk to my listeners. At least they're ready to hear new information.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right.
But I think the opportunities in Russia are wonderful, and it's
Of
blowing my
course, if
mind.
you're coming here
And
to study, of course,
and
and
I want
of
to
course,
show
even
this to
even career
people.
wise, if you're not doing medicine, if you're doing things like engineering and all of that, of course, Russia built most of the world. The Soviet Union built most of the world. The
Yeah.
archaeology, no, no
Hmm.
archaeology, architecture. Sorry,
The architecture.
is powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we'll go like deeper into these, in subsequent sessions. I'm really,
Of course,
ready for these sessions that we have it once per week, Saturday preferably, that works for you. Evening when it's like really chilled, you're back from work, nothing else to do,
sure,
and let's just talk. I will prepare stuff that I want to ask you about Russia. You can prepare stuff you want to ask me about Germany,
sure,
and then from time to time we bring in also guest speakers from other locations.
of
I
course,
think
of course.
there's a lot we have to offer to people back home, wherever that
Yeah,
might be
we
for
that
them.
before I came to this place, I know very little information about here.
Yeah,
Now, like, if I had known some of the things that I know now, then my life would have been a lot better.
yeah, yeah,
So that
yeah.
is one of the reasons why we need to, of course, help these people while, like,
Definitely.
while also sharing our passion.
Yeah,
So thanks a lot
100%.
for inviting me today. Thanks for the live,
My
and thank you
pleasure.
for the viewers for tuning in. I have to go before my boss fires me.
No,
So I'll
no,
see you
no
guys in the
worries,
next
man.
session. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Enjoy.
Sure.
Okay. All right, then, guys. So that was it. Aruman from MedMinds, Russia, telling us about studying in Russia and also the opportunities over there. I hope you enjoyed this session. It's actually my first live session on YouTube. But anyways, uh, stay tuned next week around this time. No, not this time. Evening, we'll be back again. But until then, you take care and have a nice one. Bye for now.